A year ago for the Maize and Blue, it was black and blue to close out the 2017 season, losing their final 3 games, including an L to The Ohio State University, which is never fun if you're a fan of the guys from Ann Arbor. But Jim Harbaugh made some changes to that staff during the offseason. Most notably, hey, you're going to get one heck of a offensive line coach in Ed Warner. We know this because he led the Ohio State Buckeyes back in 2014 as their offensive line coach and co-coordinator to a national championship. Previously, he was at Minnesota. So you got a guy with some proven pedigree there, and also Jim McElwain. Yeah, he didn't stay unemployed long, did he? Yeah, he was at Florida as their head coach, but now he's in Wolverine land, coaching the receivers. We'll see how big of an input he can have with that Michigan offense that really needs help because a year ago they could run the ball, okay? They could run it, but they had a hard time with the passing game and protecting the quarterback, giving up a whopping 36 sacks a year ago and only converting on third down 33% of the time. You get Shea Patterson from Ole Miss, and he gets to play right away, doesn't have to sit out because of Ole Miss's difficulties off the field. So we're talking about Shea Patterson, who threw for over 300 yards per game during his time in Oxford, Mississippi. Like I said, that's a big upgrade at quarterback, provided that the Michigan offensive line protects and doesn't get Patterson killed. Looking at the backfield, we talk about it being good. Yeah, talking about a guy that can really make a difference. Had a couple of 200-yard games a year ago and 6 yards shy of 1,000 yards. Karan Higdon, he's back. Wide receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Good receiver, dangerous punt returner. He's back along with Tarek Blackenbank. Michigan returns their top 7 wide receivers, and also the tight end returns along with 3 of the offensive linemen. Talking about the tight end in Sean McKeon. 31 receptions and had 3 touchdowns. So the offense, they'll be better. We'll see how much better as the season goes along. Talking about the defense, this is where Michigan, not only in my opinion, gets even and gets ahead as far as who comes back. They were number 3 in the country in 2017 in yardage allowed. Only Alabama and Wisconsin gave up fewer total yards than the Wolverines. 8 of the 11 are back, but you will miss Maurice Hurst, picked in this past season's draft by my Oakland Raiders. Yes! The rest of that defensive line, though, should be in fine shape. Rashawn Gary, remember him a few years ago? Number 1 high school player in the country. His career has not been a disappointment. Got him at 1 defensive end. We'll see if he comes back in 2019, though, because he'll be eligible for the draft by then. The other defensive end could have left for the NFL this year, but came back for a senior season and Chase Winovich, 8 sacks for the senior. Talking about the linebackers, solid in this department. Devin Bush, 100 stops a year ago. Middle linebacker, you have Khaleke Hudson, and just like Winovich, Hudson had 8 sacks a year ago, so you have another solid linebacker in Khaleke Hudson. The secondary, not much. All they did was finish tops in the country in pass defense. That's right, number 1 pass defense in the nation last year was Michigan, and everybody comes back. Most dangerous corner tandem, probably in college football, you have Lavert Hill, and you have David Long on the other side. The safeties, don't ignore them either, in Tyree Kimmel and Josh Metellus. So secondary could be number 1 again. The schedule for Michigan, it is rough. The opener against Notre Dame, not that I endorse gambling, but you know what? You might contemplate making a bet on the under as far as total points in this game because Notre Dame's defense, they're pretty good too. It's going to be a low-scoring game in South Bend. But I think Michigan will have enough to get past the Fighting Irish in the close game. The key stretch, look at the middle of the season. Okay, mid-October to early November at home against Wisconsin. They're damn good. At Michigan State, they're damn good. You get a bye week, and then you play Penn State. Okay, so you look at 2 out of those 3 games. They're at home. The big thing for Michigan, they got to win that opener. If they don't win the opener, then you have a lot of pressure to try to run that table, which I don't think they're going to do. If you beat Notre Dame, that middle stretch of the season, assuming that you can take care of most of the other games, you can win 2 out of 3 against Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Penn State. You're looking at 10-1, possibly 11-0, entering the final game of the year in Columbus, Ohio, against you-know-who. I'm not picking Michigan to beat Ohio State. You know why? Because how many times has Michigan beaten Ohio State since 2004? Once. That was back in 2011, and that year Ohio State was no damn good. So I can't pick Michigan to beat Ohio State because Ohio State has their number. That's simple. No other explanation needed. Michigan is going to have, in my opinion, a 10-win season, but I think they lose 2 games, one to, well, you know who, and the other during that 3-game stretch of Michigan State, Wisconsin, as well as Penn State. I think they'll finish tied for second, but will lose out on the tiebreak. So standings-wise, they're going to finish third if you break it down as far as tiebreakers. So got Michigan third in the Big Ten East. See you next time.